What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Gambling Lab, brought to you by Bogey Proof. Little Masters hangover. It's RBC Heritage Week down at Hilton Head. A lot of actually surprisingly strong field this year, which I'm sure we'll get into. But got the full crew on tonight, and as we always start, TJ, hit us with the weather.
Well, boys, weather's been turning up pretty well. We had a great week this past week, minus Friday and a little bit of wind. Thursday here down in Hilton Head, South Carolina, right on the water. 78 degrees. We will have some wind. We are right on the water. This week, it looks like it's going to be kind of moving around a little bit with Thursday blowing from the south, southwest, so blow towards north. Friday, 72, partly cloudy. And then Saturday, Sunday, a couple scattered thunderstorms coming through, 75 degrees both days. In terms of chance, I think it's just storms going through. May pause play, but get back to it. We'll have to see what that looks like. Winds consistently around 10 miles per hour. So there you go.
Interesting with thunderstorms. That kind of changes some things at this place because normally it's a shorter golf course. It's little like kind of quirky in the sense it's like short dog legs. You see a lot of guys not hitting driver on a lot of par fours, and it's just a little bit awkward of a course, I think, for some of the bigger hitters. And you can see that in the past champs with CT Pan, Wesley Bryan, Webb Simpson. Abe Ancer had a super solid week here a couple years ago. Stuart Sink, kind of not a bomber by any means, but not the shortest guy in the world either. So he's a little bit in the middle of that pack. But if you had thunderstorms and you soften it up, maybe it kind of demands a little bit more club off the tee because you're taking a little bit of roll out of play. Something to keep an eye on come the weekend. But either way, I think it's certainly a kind of accuracy short game, like who's going to make a ton of putts and like who's going to hit their irons inside a 20-foot circle all week. It's going to be a ball striker's kind of heaven, and all the length advantages that some guys have are probably going to be kind of
neutralized.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Neutralized this week, to say the least. So you guys got any other course insights, kind of player profiles you're eyeballing here?
I mean, if we jump into a couple, DFS targets, I got a couple. I love down at the low value section. Kuchar has some huge numbers here. Ton of history. I love him. I mean, he's finished second, ninth, fifth, first, and he's in some pretty good form.
He played good in Austin a couple weeks ago before the Masters. So
yeah, I think he's priced perfectly at 7,800 right there. So I'm going to have 100% exposure to him. It's going to be not as many lineups this week. And then at the top, I think it's only a matter of time before Morikawa wins the tournament again. And I think shorter courses, ball striking courses, coming off a incredible finish at the Masters with that little high note there, that bunker hole out. I love Morikawa at the top.
I like Rory too.
Rory would never even consider playing in this tournament.
I mean, it's pretty impressive looking at Morikawa's year. Like, doesn't seem to be playing all that, like playing okay, but like not what we're kind of expecting out of him. A lot of times he's got 7 top 10s. It's like, well, all right, I guess he is having a good year. It's just like it doesn't look as good this year for some reason yet. But yeah, I think it's just a matter of time before he goes out.
Yeah, he's won. So he's so young and has won a major, 2 majors, right? 2. That's incredible.
Came in 7th year last year also.
Yeah. So I don't hate that. For me, high end this week, I'm really liking Corey Connors in DFS, 9,700. It's kind of crazy to say that he's high, 97, but I just think he's rock solid this week. And then low end, I hope I don't take anybody's guy here, but I think I might. JJ Spawn. I really like his value at 73. I mean, he's missed 4 cuts out of 18. Guy is playing like Willie Zeest terms of total tournaments like he did last year. I like him. Good value there.
Dude, coming off a win, gutted out and made the cut at Augusta after being like 6 over on the front his first 9 of the tournament and battled back to make the cut. Ride the hot hand. Why not,
He struggles with the putter from time to time, right? So I think the smaller greens here will probably benefit him.
And he's also just doesn't hit it very long, so it's like.
And TJ, Corey,
let him get a rhythm going.
It's about time he got to that level. He's been as steady Eddie as it gets all year, and he deserves it.
Steady Eddie.
Reminds me like perfect.
The games don't remind me like the same, but the way that they finished in tournaments, Corey Connors and Sam Burns, I feel for me is kind of like similar.
Yeah, very different styles.
That's what pricing wise are like perfect.
Yeah. I think in like those two are pretty like highlight really well too. Like I think the things that we should really just like sometimes simplify with is like
Mhm.
who's playing good? All right, fucking pick them. You know, like it's like
It's
you
as
talk
simple as
all this
that.
course fit shit and course history. It's like, all right, who's like trending in the last 3 weeks? Who's playing really well? And then you add those other factors into it as well. But
Mhm.
it's like at the end of the day, if you're playing well, you'll probably continue to play well. And then
Mhm.
once that comes to a halt, you kind of reassess. But it's like a guy like Hoagie when Paul was all over him, or like Berger, like earlier in the season, like those guys racked up top 20s like 2-3 weeks in a row, and then bang, went out and got a win. So definitely just when in doubt, it's always good to simplify.
That's a good target. For Paulie, who you got, babe?
Yeah, I mean, if we're just rolling right off of what you said there, of guys who are just knocking in top 20s left and right, someone who is, I don't understand how he's just completely forgotten about at the value that he is, I guess. Matt Fitzpatrick,
Mhm.
9,500. The guy's last time outside of like the top 20, besides missing the cut at the players, was like the Mayakoba or something back in November. He's just top 20 every single week. And if you're looking for a guy, again, to rack up points for you, you need a guy that's going to finish in the top 20. And that's been Matt Fitzpatrick for the last 5 months.
Yeah.
And you just said his name too. I'm still riding the burger train. I'm just waiting for him to get a win this year.
Yeah.
I mean,
Love it.
9,600 again this week. Them two in a lineup, I feel like you can't miss. And I got
Look,
a sneaky guy who I'm looking at low value here, Brian Stewart. The guy just plays in off-field events, post majors. He just plays in these events pretty well, and his strokes gained into the green on approach is phenomenal. So I love him this week.
Paulie,
At
Brian Stewart has him as a
6,700.
here. 2013. Just a little tidbit for you. So he's going
fine.
into my lineup now.
where is he? How low is he?
You got to scroll pretty far. Your hands.
I can't go any
6,700.
farther at 63.
Oh,
67.
love it.
Yep.
You get one of those guys to
60 I
make the
missed
cut,
it.
you have a pretty damn good week in DFS.
That's what
So
you need,
Yep.
baby.
Sir.
I'm gonna go, guy maybe a little bit more towards the middle, but definitely on the lower end. Adam Hadwin playing like some sneaky good golf the last month or so, like 3 top 10s in a row. Wasn't in the Masters field, but I mean, 3 top 10s in a row and at very ranging golf courses means he's got pretty good control. 7,600, I feel like that's pretty cheap for him given like this field. I mean, I know it's pretty heavy at the top of those 3 guys of Cam Smith, JT Morikawa, but those guys just exhausted a lot of energy and emotionally and physically at the Masters. So we talk a lot about motivation. I wonder about the motivation up there. I mean, I think it's one of those weeks they get off to a good start, they roll with it, and they go get it. If they're kind of fighting it, it's like, I could use a little long weekend back home.
Yeah,
So it's just something to consider this week with those top guys. I know it seems like no brainer picks, but definitely something to keep in mind. And then my guy towards the top, I think Cantlay, like he's a guy that seems to not know what to do with himself in majors, and he just scoops up events like this. I don't know how much like truth that rings, but he just hasn't seemed to break out in the majors yet. I don't think he had a great week at Augusta last week. I don't really remember seeing him a lot, but at not smaller field, but like the more ho hum kind of middle of the road PJ Tour events, the guy rakes. I mean, he started the year off with 4 or 5 top 10s, ended last year winning everything, but again, nothing. I think the biggest win he's got is the Memorial, which is obviously a pretty big PGA Tour event, but I haven't seen him in a major in the last 4 years. So I think this is just like right up his alley of like he'll probably care a little bit more than everybody else for whatever reason. Go out there and maybe grab a dub. But just kind of, I just can picture him wearing that stupid blazer and whatever else they give all the winners of this tournament, and just like hitting the fucking tee shot with the cannon going off.
Yeah,
behind him
that's
next
so.
year. I
That's
could 100% be. I can just see that happening already.
That's
So
hilarious.
that's my up top higher end pricing guy. But if
would
anybody's
win.
got nothing else on DFS, it's bank count play of the week. It's not the biggest week of the year, like we're kind of alluding to here, but like there's money in the crumbs. You're gonna learn a lot this week if you watch enough golf to, get those cheaper guys come major week when those salaries kind of get deflated back to where they should be. So it's worth watching. And if nobody's got anything else, let's get into bank count plays.
Let's do it.
Who we want, boys? Who wants to start? I think I could go, but I think I'm going to take one of Paulie's guys. So I want Paulie to go first. So
All right. I'm going all heart this week. There's no really, data behind making these picks at all. So I'm going Dan Berger, of course, to win, 20-1. And Mito top 20 plus
Of course.
280. Just going with the heart. It's a
If he's
heart
in the
week.
field, you got to hammer him.
Yep,
Yeah,
exactly.
take some winners. Love that.
That's all I got.
Paul, I actually switched one of my plays mid podcast, and then you said him, and I was like, hell yeah. So it made me feel much better. And you'll know which one in 1 second. So my first one this week, I'm doing Cooch Daddy top 40. I think if he makes the cut, he'll breeze right into there. Minus 125, he'll breeze right into top 40. And top 20, Matty Fitz. Love that, Paulie. So I love when you gave me some support there. That was great without knowing it. Love that. And I'm taking Morikawa too across the board. I'm going to take him winner, top 5, top 10, and top 20. Bang.
Wow.
I'm going to take him across a lot.
Pushing the chips into the middle.
Yeah. I mean, listen, Fontaine, I'm all in on your point about he's probably a little tired and whatever, but they're all watching Scotty Scheffler win every tournament. So I think, they're probably a little sick of that too. And I think what better place for Khan, because I could see Khan wearing the stupid jacket too.
Yeah, 100%. That fits him well.
Yeah.
It's one of those.
100%.
And Scotty too, like other than just winning everything, the world number one is like getting a little bit further and further and further away from everybody else with how quickly he's doing them. Morikawa is a guy that wants to have, weeks and weeks and weeks of that under his belt come, as the years go on. So definitely a little bit extra focus for him.
One more tidbit on Fitzpatrick. He's said here multiple times that this is one of his favorite courses, and Hilton Head is one of his favorite places to play golf. There's quotes on that. So
positive vibes,
positive vibes, man. Positive vibes and a course fit. Sounds good to me.
So because you're gonna say, or with all those beautiful things that I like hearing from a golfer, I'm gonna actually go Matt Fitzpatrick live on the spot, top 10 plus 190. And then I'm going to follow up and do Kevin Na top 20 at plus 250. I fucking love that. Kevin Na played pretty good. He played decent golf this past week, enough to plus 250. I look at that. I go, I think this is stealing money. So
played great last week. 15. Yeah. Top 15 last week.
Yeah. With like a 5 putt on 16 on Sunday too, or something stupid like that.
Yeah.
So Kevin, definitely,
he had a good year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's priced.
That's crazy value for a top 20 at plus 250. I agree with that, Teach.
Yes, that's
love it.
For sure.
Paulie, you ready? Let him, or you already go? You went first.
I already
right?
went. Yeah.
Rock and roll.
Getting lost.
Now.
Yeah, it's the RBC,
it's the RBC. Let's just keep it rolling. All right, I'm gonna go. I like top 20, similar ballpark as Kevin Na. Tommy Fleetwood being plus 230. Like, he has not been horrible this year. I mean, it's not been great, but it's like definitely trending in a much better direction than it has been the last 2 years. So I'm gonna hammer that. A little plus 230 for Fleetwood at top 20. I'm comfortable with that one. And then
I like Fleetwood. For sure.
And then I'll go another top 20 with actually same pricing, Brian Harmon. I mean, if he can't do it this week, I don't know if he will.
Come on,
it's
gonna be more.
Come on, Brian, you got it.
It's if it's not Brian. This week, when the hell is it going to be?
Canadian Open.
Top 34
Travelers.
Brian Harmon.
Yeah. So I'll top 20 at plus 230. I like that value there. I'll give that a run. And then obviously I kind of alluded to it, but I think I'm going to sprinkle a little on Cantlay 14-1, and I could also see JT wearing that stupid jacket too. Just he's as frustrating as it is in the majors for him. Like, he still is playing super well and came in the top 10 when he shot 77 the first day or whatever the fuck that first day was. So he could kind of blindfoldedly, I think, just be in the top 5 come Sunday, and then who knows what happens. So a little sprinkle on Cantlay and JT to win at 10-1 and 14-1. Something to think about. But
we have it.
Yeah. RBC Heritage, fellas. Anything else to add? Any other sprinkle plays? Anything else we're thinking?
Any last minute guys we like? Has Kokrak won here before?
Oh, I've definitely seen a picture of him in that plaid.
I feel like
jacket.
I have, right?
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think
the only comment I had with Cooch is, didn't he win it last year?
No, last year was
Stewie. That's
Stewie
right. His stupid son's back in the bag this week.
Stewart is a new place in my heart for the rest of eternity. So love it.
Yeah, big
it's true.
hit for the boys last week.
Yeah, yep. Okay.
And we were talking about almost doing 2, and thankfully he
Thankfully, you didn't. It was smart.
Thankfully.
All right, fellas. Well, happy RBC week. We'll get back. We'll save some of these bullets for future weeks. We got major seasons upon us with the Masters behind us now. So
Money doesn't sleep though. So here we are.
Here we are. Cheers, fellas.
Cheers.
Cheers.